Other than that, it's kind of quiet around the country. We like quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Number two.
Yeah. This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center.
An effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
The first strike against terrorism as a missile barrage lands on Afghanistan.
Can war ever be justified? Many people who disagree with war being justifiable tend to lean towards the topic that if everybody was peaceful and quiet and respected one's religion, beliefs, and culture, then there would be no need for war, and it would not be justifiable. Unfortunately, if we look through our patterns and throughout human civilization when it comes to war, we soon begin to realize that human nature tends to lead towards violence and fighting when there is a disagreement on either side. This could be because of religion or culture. Many people believe that the best way to stop war all around and create peace worldwide is to create a utopian society. A utopian society can be classified as a perfect life where there is order, peace, and no destruction. Unfortunately, this is next to impossible. The reason for this is because a utopian society perfectly represents a dystopian society. While this may be confusing, try to understand what a utopia means. Utopia refers to where everything is peaceful. So if this utopia is the key to peace and ending war worldwide, then why hasn't every country enforced it? Because in order to create a utopian society, there must be a leader or leaders to enforce dystopian beliefs, rules, and laws. This entirely defeats the purpose of a utopian society because in order to get a community in order, there must be a leader to get them in order. This means that a utopian society is virtually impossible. Knowing this, it is important to think about how this relates to war specifically. As I've said before, a utopian society means everybody agrees on the same thing and believes in the same religion, if there is a religion. However, with this being impossible, it will lead to disagreements. Conflicts on government levels could lead to terrorism. This was one of the main causes of the Afghanistan war with America in 2001. This is just one example of how war has been justified. After the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the United States military infiltrated the Taliban supply line to prevent a further terrorist attack. It is also important to note the differences between wars with other countries. With the war with America and Afghanistan, Afghanistan did not have any nuclear weapons of mass destruction. However, other surrounding countries do. This is why the opposing side makes a fair point as to why war may not be justified. However, the argument that war is not justified is often driven by fear and not justification itself. The fear of nuclear war is rational, but is not an argument as to why or why not the possibility of war altogether is justified. The decision of whether or not to start a war with an opposing country can be driven by fear, but ultimately comes down to the original reason for consideration. Some of the instances where war has been justified by other countries has come through human rights issues, military assistance, and economic necessities. So, ultimately, the decision of whether or not to start a war comes down to the government and the country. While war may never be good, sometimes it is necessary for countries to succeed and survive.